Hi, this is an interview I did in 1982 with the head of the dance marathon committee at Penn State. Enjoy, if you're interested. It's pretty good.
Closer Look, an in-depth look at campus and community affairs. In this program, we are taking a closer look at preparations for the Interfraternity Council Dance Marathon with Marathon Chairman Jim Krause. I'm Bob Chomos. Hi Jim, how are you doing?
Pretty good, Bob.
Well, you're chairman of the IFC Dance Marathon, right?
Yes, I am.
It starts February 4th and ends February 6th. Where is it?
We held in the Mary Beaver White gym, the main gym in White Building.
When's it going to start? What time?
The dance marathon itself starts at around, well, we'll start at 7 o'clock. We'll start preparing for it sometime about 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
How long has the Interfraternity Council been preparing for this marathon?
Preparation for this marathon started basically about the third week of September when I was finally selected as this year's chairman. It's been a different process than previous years because the chairman's usually selected in the spring, but the original chairman had some personal problems, never returned to school in the fall, and I was selected and had to start selecting my committee in September.
How were you chosen as chairman?
When I came back to school, I was in class with the IFC president and administrative vice, the people who select the chairman's position. And when they found out that the original chairman was not coming back, they asked me what my plans were for this year. And I told them I didn't really know. They offered me the position, and I told them I'd think about it. I read over the information, what I need to do, and accepted the job.
Have you ever danced in a marathon yourself?
I haven't danced. I participated through my house, going out canning and collecting and pledging other dancers and being up there a lot, but I personally never danced.
What advice do you give the dancers for how to prepare for 40 hours of dancing?
We've researched a lot. It's been done in the past. We gave them the type of foods they should attempt to eat, what they consider carbohydrate packing, because that's the first thing that tends to go when you're dancing for that long period of time. So we give them a diet that'll help them prepare, and they usually start working on that about a week to a week and a half in advance. Besides that, we inform them what things are going to be bad for their body, and try to tell them to avoid such things as alcohol and the like that tend to act as depressant and withdraw more things from the body than are beneficial.
Is it dangerous for people to be dancing for such an extended period of time?
It really depends on the individual. Most people in good physical condition can dance in the marathon for 48 hours. There are a few people, though, that just don't have the physical capabilities. They're either sick or ill or on medication of some sort, and it tends to knock them apart physically where they can't complete the. Most people always start and last for at least 10 to 12 hours before the first people start to drop out.
Do the dancers get any rest breaks?
We have 5 rest breaks, one every 8 hours, the 3-minute break, which they have. That's typical for a long marathon that follows what are considered standard marathon procedures. Every 8 hours they get a 3-minute break, and they get to go to the bathroom, and they get a massage from the morale squad, and basically it's just a short time to relax before they're back on the floor.
What percentage of the dancers last the whole 48 hours?
Last year there was about 375 of the 500 dancers finished. We're hoping this year to get about 80-90% to finish.
Some history. How long has the Interfraternity Council been sponsoring the dance marathon for Four Diamonds Fund?
This is the 7th year for the Four Diamonds Fund. The Interfraternity Council has been sponsoring dance marathon for 11 years ago.
What was it before that?
Before the original dance marathon went to some national causes and some local causes. The money was donated to those organizations. And the Four Diamonds Fund was founded 10 years ago and it wasn't quite that large. And I believe the first year the marathon was for Four Diamonds Fund. We doubled their entire intake for the previous year. We donated about $3,000 the first year to them, and that was 7 years ago. So it tells you how much we've grown in the past 7 years. We're now raising close to $100,000 a year.
Is the Four Diamonds Fund for cancer research at Hershey Medical Center?
The primary cause of the Four Diamonds Fund is to relieve the financial burden of the families who are afflicted with childhood cancer. Costs for treatment tend to range about $10,000 a year. So treatment for 2 years is in the range of $25,000 to $30,000. And the primary purpose of the fund is to relieve that financial burden. If there's money left over in the fund, it's placed into research of different types of childhood cancer and therapy, and attempts to find a cure for it.
How much money was raised last year?
Last year, the dance marathon raised $96,000.
Is that an increase from the year before that?
It was a slight increase. It was a slight increase in the fact that the amount that was turned over to the Four Diamonds Fund, more was received, a larger quantity was received than what was pledged the year before. There was a less of a non-pledged received type of situation last year.
Okay, the dance marathon has been limited with the number of dancers, and it's been full for weeks now. Why do you limit the number of dancers?
Basically, just so we can handle the number of people that are in weight-building. It's very difficult to be in charge of 500 people that are dancing for 48 hours, and anything over that, the logistics of it just get to be hectic. It's hard enough trying to get all the paperwork done, the information forms, pledge forms, and everything filed away in the correct order for 500 dancers, and anything more than that will be difficult for any students to run. We put a lot of time and effort into just organizing for 500 dancers, and it'd be difficult in 1 year to organize anything bigger than that.
Were only Penn State students eligible?
No, it's open to other people, but it's usually only Penn State students that decide to enter. We do have a few people outside students, some graduates who have danced before that have friends still in school. So a lot of times the couples are split of the people outside Penn State that do dance. One person in the couple is a student, and the other is either a graduate or has been associated with it before in some way.
What are the various support committees helping out in the marathon?
Well, I have 7 support committees. There's a monetary committee that deals just with the handling of the money, a PR committee that deals with publicity for the marathon, a physical plan committee that deals with the setup and breakdown of White Gym the weekend of the marathon, the social committee, which is pretty important. They handle the music for the weekend, arranging the hiring of bands, and they also arrange for the food that we get for the dancers. We give them meals, lunches, and snacks during the 48 hours that they're dancing. There's a dinner committee that sponsors the kickoff dinner, gets a guest speaker, and tries to start the week off right. And probably the most important is the morale committee, who is on the floor, 178 different students who work different shifts and are on the floor with the dancers, trying to keep them going for the entire 48 hours, because the longer they dance, the more money we raise.
Who will be playing music?
We've hired Quick Radio, who will be playing the music during the marathon itself. They'll be on the air sometime, and their DJs will be handling most of the music, although we have 8 different live bands that will be coming on and playing in between certain breaks, just as a change of pace for the dancers.
Who should people contact if they'd like to sponsor a dancer but don't know anybody who's going to be dancing?
They can make either a straight contribution to the Four Diamonds Fund through the Office of Gifts and Endowments, or they can contact someone affiliated with the Dance Marathon in the Fraternity Council office. We're sure we can put them in contact with someone who's willing to accept a pledge, or will, of course, take a straight-out contribution.
Are these contributions tax deductible?
Yes, I believe anything over $5 is.
What's your prediction for this year's marathon?
My prediction is that we'll make more money than last year's and hopefully reach our goal of $100,000.
Well, good luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
In this program, we have taken a closer look at preparations for the Interfraternity Council Dance Marathon with Marathon Chairman Jim Krause. Tune in next time for a closer look. I'm Bob Chomos. Closer Look is a WDFM Public Affairs presentation.
Well, there you go. What do you think? The good old days of dance marathons at colleges. I wonder if they still do them. Anyway, bye for now.